On Bama Sports, and it's brought to you by C Spire. C Spire, Alabama's fastest internet for your business or home. Learn how to add gigabit C Spire fiber to your roster at cspire.com/ALFiber. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Alabama football bounced back on Saturday with a 49-9 win in Starkville over Mississippi State. Head coach Nick Saban met with the media following the game.
Well, I was really proud of the way our players competed in the game. We certainly needed to respond, and I think the players responded the right way. Played a 60-minute game, sort of dominated the game the way we'd like to play. I think it's the way you want to play on the road. It's the way you control the crowd. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that. We had a good week this week. It was good preparation, good focus.
I'll have more in a moment.
When it comes to your business IT solutions, smarter is better. Meet the authority from C Spire. Our team of super specialized engineers partner with businesses of all sizes, taking on their toughest IT challenges while finding new opportunities. Connectivity, data security, cloud services, you name the tech, we have a specialist for it. C Spire Business. Win with authority. Your partners in IT. Every size business deserves top-tier IT solutions. Visit cspire.com/business.
Here are more post-game thoughts from Coach Saban.
I think the big thing that our players, and I told them this after the game, don't want to forget how you felt last week because you responded the right way. So let's make sure we continue to build on what we just did, and got a lot of tough games coming up, so we want to focus on improvement.
Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by C Spire. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. F-15 dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. Eludes the kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, great. Alabama back on top. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown. Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
They played extremely well on teams as well. So all the way around, this is going to be a very challenging game for us.
Okay, we will start things off with Nick Kelly in Tuscaloosa. Nick, go ahead.
You guys were really effective on third down against Mississippi State. What do you think clicked there? What are things you guys can replicate?
Well, I'm not satisfied with the way we played on third down. I think there was a couple third down and 10s and one third down and 12 where we gave up first downs. And I think in those kind of situations, whether it's screens, vertical passing game, whatever, we need to continue to work on trying to be more efficient and effective. On third down in terms of getting off the field. And we did do a good job at times, but that's something that we need to continue to work on.
Okay, we will go to Michael Casagrande. Michael?
Yep, through 7 games this season, how would you describe the identity of this team?
Well, I'd say, right now, based on what we just did, that's still sort of if we continue to play like we played in the last game, play for 60 minutes, play hard, support each other, play together as a group, compete in the game, play the next play, not look at the scoreboard, I think that we can develop a really positive identity. I think we took the first step of that in the last game, and hopefully, we'll be able to build on that in the future.
We'll go to Aaron Suttles.
When you have a player like Will Anderson, who last week very publicly held his team accountable, both I'm guessing internally, and he said some stuff to the media. What does that mean to you when you have a player who's willing to take on that and sort of challenge his teammate?
I think you need leadership on every team. I think that there's two things about leadership, and I've talked about this before. You have to have people who are willing to take responsibility for leadership, which we have some players stepping up on our team to do that. But the other players on the team have to be willing to accept that leadership and respond to the standard that the leaders are trying to get everybody to aspire to. So I'm happy that that's starting to develop on this team. I think it's really critical to having a successful team that you have really positive, good leadership on your team.
We'll go to Charlie Potter next. Charlie.
Hey, Coach, it looked like Byron Young maybe got banged up late in the game. Do you have an update on his status?
He's got a little, shoulder problem. He's kind of day to day. So we can't make a call on where he is right now.
Okay, we will go to Mike Rodak. Mike, go ahead.
What was your message to Ajay Hall after he publicly expressed some frustration after the game, and just how much more complicated are the situations now with transfer rules being as they are?
Well, it is what it is. But, look, it still comes down to players creating value for themselves by what they do. I've said this before that, there's players that have talent, but they have to learn how to use it. And they have to use it in an effective way in the way they practice. It's up to the player to impress the coaches that they can be trusted to go in the game and do what they're supposed to do. So when players get frustrated, they sometimes don't respond the way they should in terms of their preparation and focusing on what they need to do to become a good player because they're so concerned about how much they're playing. So, if players are competitors, they probably will be frustrated that they're not playing. But it's how do you respond to that? What do you do to respond to that in a positive way that's going to help you improve your circumstances in the future? And the way to do that is do the right things and go out and practice and play well so that not only you, but your teammates and everybody in the organization can trust you to go do what you're supposed to do.
We'll go to Tony.
Kind of on that note, we did not see Javon Baker travel with the team. What's his status? And then also just the receivers as a whole, how have you seen that group, the kind of the backups in that group kind of over the season?
They're doing fine, but it's the same thing. Players do what they're supposed to do. They travel, they play, they contribute to the team. And that's every player's choice. Every player has a choice to do the things that they need to do to contribute to the team, and everybody's got to buy in. So, players that do that travel, players that have issues with that, they're not really doing what they should do. I mean, that's our job as a coach to make sure that people are doing the right things. And if they're not doing the right things, there's consequences for that. There's consequences for that in life. There's consequences in that when you're in competitive sports.
We'll go to Joey. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Coach. Last week you talked about using the loss at A&M to kind of motivate your team, but also use it as an experience to learn from. How difficult is it to maintain that intensity that you had at Mississippi State after a big win, moving forward in the season?
Well, I think that's probably something that people like to put negative things that happen to them behind them, but I don't think that's what you want to do in sports. You want to remember what it feels like when you don't have success and let that be a motivating factor for you to do the right things, especially when you did the right things and that helped you play better. to become a part of who you are. If you really learn from the lesson, that's what you would do.
We'll go to Steven next.
Coach, how are you seeing Trey Sanders become more comfortable working back from all the adversity that he's been through?
Well, he's worked really, really hard, and he's making good progress. And it was good to see him get in the game a little bit this last game and make a couple positive runs. And I think that getting his confidence back is a big part of that. And we're going to continue to work him. And he has a great attitude about what he's trying to do. So I'm sure he's going to just get better and better.
Reminder, you can raise your hand if you have a follow-up. If not, we've got Aaron Suttles. Go ahead, Aaron.
You've been involved with a few games where there's been sort of a spontaneous rushing of the field. What's it like to be in the middle of that? And there was an incident Saturday night in Tennessee. Do you feel like the conference can do more to protect the players and the coaches?
I don't think that's my question to really answer. I mean, I've said this before, we're in the entertainment business. There's a lot of people that come to the games. They've got a lot of passion and excitement for what they do. Hopefully, as institutions and fans, will always do that in a positive way. I still got a big bruise on my arm here from, what happened after the Texas A&M game, and I can always just look at that as a reminder to what it feels like to be in that situation and motivate myself to try to do a better job with our players.
Okay, Coach, that's all we got. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, welcome back in. And again, that's Coach Saban's press conference, and a little bit shorter today than usual. Usually goes about 12, 13 minutes, but right at 9, 10 minutes a day. But talking about the big win over Mississippi State. We got a lot to get into today, a lot when it comes to not only Alabama and a number of things we'll talk about as far as what they were able to accomplish this weekend. But, man, the big story definitely has been Tennessee fans throwing objects onto the field. Golf ball even got thrown out as well. Who carries the golf ball to a football game? So why do they able to? Don't you have to empty your pockets when you go through the security? How in the world do you get I guess you can get pretty much anything through security. Yeah.
And came into the stadium with the thought that I'm going to throw this golf ball at Lane Kiffin's head.
Kiffin was so great in the way he handled it. He said, at least they threw a range ball. And, I am not ever, and I want everybody to understand, neither you are making light of any of this, but if there's a winner to be had here, Lane Kiffin came out, as I told Lars earlier, smelling not like a rose, smelled like a dozen.
Yeah.
He handled it with class, dignity, and humor.
Yeah. All right. So, Lars, I think you're playing your stuff through. So, but hey, real quick, the French's mustard goes in the field. French's tweets out something like "good on hot dogs, not on fields." I thought that was brilliant by them. They're marketing people to be able to do that pretty quickly. But Lane Kiffin walking back in after the game, their student section, they'd let them come all the way down, which you had thought they would have cleared that out at that point in time. They had enough time to at least keep them off away from the field. And then the bottles begin to come. He does the Odell Beckham, catches one back like this, and then throws his visor into the stands. The students, Lars, fight over the visor. So it was definitely a spectacle, not skeptical, but a spectacle, and one as well that kind of reminded you of WWE going into it, coming out of it during the game. And he's just such a character, Lane Kiffin is. I think that's why he is so polarizing when it comes to college athletics and so many teams that he's been a part of, that he's left, that now he's beloved by some and hated by many.
He's interesting.
Yeah.
Right. And he's always going to generate discussion. But clearly, the Tennessee fan base still feels jilted by Lane Kiffin. There's still an immense amount of anger, and they haven't let go of it. And, it manifested itself in a very ugly way late on Saturday night. I didn't think it helped matters, the fact that it was so late, because fans had a chance to get very well lubricated, as I mentioned earlier to Matt. And
I don't like that word for
lubricated.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when he said it earlier, but he was in the middle of a great point. So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hey, if that
they were medicated.
If that game starts at 11, if it's an 11 o'clock kickoff, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Do they sell beer in the stadium?
They must, because I saw so many tall boy cans on the sideline. So I don't think they will for the rest of the year. I think they may be a part of their punishment.
So what is the appropriate punishment?
I say you fine the university $1 million, and then you tell the university, get it together and make sure this never happens again, and beef up security. That's one of the things, Jay, getting your reaction to this. One of the things I couldn't understand is normally a situation, unfortunately, happens like that. There's about 30 seconds of throwing stuff on the field. I'll give you a perfect example. When Jeff Gordon beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Talladega, there was a barrage of bottles. Some guy threw his whole cooler. How did he get over the catch fence? I don't know.
Strong dude.
But there was nobody on. There were no cars left. There were no fans there.
And Gordon's in a car.
Yeah. Right.
Right. He's protected.
But how did it last so long?
Well, it looked like security were just stayed on the field looking up, and they weren't. There was nobody looked like they were going in. Then finally, they went in the stands, and that's when they began to push them back up and out as much as they could. But we'll get into more of this. Also, the officiating was not great. I mean, it hadn't been great. I want to get into that as far as, and I'm not blaming the officials for what happened or for the fans getting heated, but I do think. We've talked about this before, and I know all of us, and Matt and I, we talked about it 20 years ago almost. I mean, the officials in the NFL are paid their full time. Their full time is what they do. You're talking about a billions of dollar business, the SEC. You're talking about the money that comes into this conference. Why can't they pay their refs to be full-time refs? And would that cut down on some of the bad officiating and things that have happened? Look, officiating is one of the toughest jobs in the world. We always talk about that. And I understand. I know a lot of those guys, and couldn't imagine doing out there and how to make those split decisions. But at the same time, I would like for them to see them be a full-time crews, working and doing that and getting better each and every week, just like you would as any type of organization. I think that would help and improve the game as well. But we can talk more about that on the other side. Local Realty, let me tell you about them. One of our great sponsors here on the Jay Barker Show with Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter, as we continue here on this Monday edition. But they're just, I tell you, Jeremy and Jenna Miller, they want to help you at Local Realty. They want to help you find really the ability to save money when it comes to really make money on selling your home on the sell side. What they do is they charge a flat fee, $2,900 flat fee, up to a $500,000 listing. Then it'll go up, kind of a little bit every time as far as the $100,000 or more of that $500,000. But the good thing is that what they realize is that it's your equity. You've put this money in. It may be your largest investment for you and your family. So they want you to make the most money off of it as well when it comes to the sale of the home. So go to localrealtyflatfee.com and check out Local Realty. Localrealtyflatfee.com to find out more information about Local Realty. Jeremy and Jenna Miller, great family, and all that they've done. Also want to remind you, we're presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf, Mark Grenier and all the great folks there at Top Golf, and also driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Oxford, Anderson. Go see Tony Russ and all the great folks at Sunny King Ford.
Was that really a mustard ball? We'll talk about it on the other side of this break.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
We know it's lonely at the top, but we don't mind.
National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Roll Tide. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide head back to Tuscaloosa to battle the Tennessee Volunteers. Our coverage begins at 3 on your home for Bama football, the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service, they've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East, in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
In October and all year long, at DCH, we're champions for women's health. Early detection of breast cancer includes annual clinical breast screenings and a mammogram every 1 to 3 years for women 25 to 39, and annually for women age 40 and up. And in the fight against breast cancer, one of our most powerful tools is our advanced 3D mammogram, which provides clear images that aid in early detection. Schedule a breast exam and ask your physician to schedule a mammogram at DCH Imaging. DCH, champions for your health.
Exam 4 needs to be sanitized.
Versana's MRI clinic isn't operating at max efficiency. She needs a new certified tech certifiably now.
Someone's waiting in room 2 for an ACL scan. Can you handle that?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Ms. Reno.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being hit by an 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One name, one call, one firm. Ms. Reno.
No representations made that quality legal services to be performed is greater than quality legal services performed by other lawyers.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Nothing but sunshine this afternoon. Tuscaloosa's high at 72. Very cool again tonight. Clear with the low at 45. And more great fall weather tomorrow and Wednesday. Mostly sunny both days. A bit warmer. Highs between 76 and 79. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 68 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
You just said, you walked yourself through it. We had a play called, we called timeout, we changed the play.
Did you see something you didn't like? Or...
So you want to know the truth? I'm not going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. So it's one of the things about, I said this earlier, when you go fast and you're using signs and you're going no huddle, those plays get called and those signs go up and those signals start. It's really hard to change plays unless you call timeout. And last week we didn't call timeout. This week we did.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
All right.
Amen.
Hi, welcome back in as we continue here on this Monday edition and look back over the weekend. And we have a lot to get into today. We talked about the Tennessee, everything that happened there as far as the bottles and mustard being thrown. Was it mustard? You were going to tell us.
There's an argument on social media going around. I've seen some clever flasks. Mm-hmm. That could have been a flask, or it might have been a French's mustard bottle, but it was full of something different. But even if that's the case,
I never heard of that.
Carries mustard into a game? You've already tailgated. Do they not have mustard at the stands, the hot dog stands?
They may have taken that one.
And that's another thing. But
yeah.
usually they're in huge cans. Good thing they didn't throw that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm betting there was some of Tennessee's finest inside of that mustard bottle, whether it had been designed for that or not.
Well, Jay, I love the story of when you tasted your first beer.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, I think you have. It was 93. 93 Auburn game. They tore my ACL, MCL, and they're carting me off the field like these are the small cars.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get me off the field, and we had to go through the tunnel where the student section is. And when I go, they just start pouring beer, and it just drenches me. And I was like, well, okay, never tasted it before, but it doesn't taste
what'd you think?
It tastes too bad. And then it was so funny because Pat Dye ran into the locker room, and it really was awesome because he came in to apologize. I think he did. He may have actually wanted to stand underneath it as well. But
no, that would have been scotch.
That's right. I love Pat Dye. I'll go out there and miss him dearly. But so that was one of those experiences where fans throwing stuff on you. But that it's part of the rivalry. It's part of. I laughed it off but thought it was very classy that Coach kind of came in and talked to me about it. Said, hey, that doesn't represent Auburn. We're not like that. Sorry about that. So he was very, very kind in that moment. All right, so back to 3rd and 1, the goal line. I come out in an empty set formation. Coach Saban calls timeout, and then they come back out heavy. Gave Brian Robinson the ball, and Saban, we just played the audio after the game saying, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but pretty much changed the play. It said, this is not what's going to happen. This is not what happened. This is what happened last week. We get down to the 1 to 3, and we threw the ball on those downs, and he wanted to be more physical. This is one of those moments we talked about last week, Lars, of Coach Saban stepping in and saying, look, I got to make this call. I got to call timeout. We can't do this.
Yeah, we talked about it last week that does Nick Saban ultimately have the authority to overrule Bill O'Brien? And of course he does, because he's the head coach. And clearly he didn't against Texas A&M. And you could argue that that interception at the goal line cost Alabama the game. And Coach Saban wasn't going to let that happen again, Matt.
No, but it didn't stop me from being a little bit surprised when he called it. I mean, and it was very directed. And then when they came back out on the field, you knew exactly what had happened, and then exactly what did happen, and the end result, which was a 1-yard Brian Robinson touchdown, which was huge. But I think was also huge, and could get into a huge expose about this, is how much I continue to be impressed at the change of Nick Saban. He handled that question. Of course, had he lost, he wouldn't have handled it as well. He handled that question with a lot of humor.
He did. Yeah.
And I think that maybe 10 years ago, he'd have taken the reporter's head off. You don't need to know that.
Well, and I think, too, in that moment, he probably was I don't know. It was kind of one of those, not sarcastic laughs, but one of those kind of like, I can't believe we did it again. And yes, I called timeout. And yes, we did come out in a different play, and it was heavy, and it was going to run the football. But, you got to do that. As Lars talked about, you got to make coaches, head coach. I was very surprised against Texas A&M that he did not do that then. So
I agree.
Yeah. So he Coach Saban learned from that and made the right call in this game against Mississippi State. Bama ends up with 3 interceptions. Really great night for Jordan Battle. And, you look at just his play, gets the 2 interceptions, Job as well. And then also the 4 sacks by Will Anderson. Will Anderson only challenged himself, but he was challenged by the fans this week about if you're supposed to be that Derek Thomas or that Cornelius Bennett or that one of those great outside linebackers for Alabama, then go do it. And he went out and did it in this game against Mississippi State and caused a lot of
4 sacks.
He looked healthy for the first time since the Miami game to me. And no excuses, but obviously Will Anderson or Nick Saban not going to talk about a potential injury that he may have had or the severity of the injury to his knee. And he had more quickness, more explosiveness, and he was the dominant player, Matt, that we thought he would be all year.
Am I jumping a gun here? Since Rattler has obviously taken himself out of the Heisman, you mentioned Pat Corral, and I think right now he may be the leader. I think you need to put a defensive guy in there, and after what I saw at Starkville, Will Anderson should stop he should start getting some votes, some favor. Am I going overboard here?
No, and his
I think you're going a little overboard.
I don't know if he's quite there yet. If he keeps having those type of games all the way through the year and it gets even better competition, maybe that happens. But we've seen defensive guys get in at least in the mix over the years. So we'll see whether or not. But you're right. I mean, the way he played was very impressive this past weekend, and to get those 4 sacks, very impressive as well. Trayshawn Holden getting a chance to show what he could do. Big catch for him for a touchdown and showing his speed as he pulled away from the defense. Bama now going into this game this weekend against Tennessee. They got a 14-game win streak against the Tennessee Volunteers. And if you look at what Alabama did as well this weekend, it was so good. Alabama 12 of 16 on third downs. That's a huge number. Just being able to stay on the field, sustain drives, more importantly, score points. So we had talked about this, that, once they got to a certain point, Lars, Coach Saban was going to push the gas pedal all the way down. He was not going to let off of this throughout this game. He wanted to not only prove his players at the point of, if you buy into what we're teaching, that we can go out and have a lot of success. And the players, they bought in this week, and hopefully this will be a carryover for this Tennessee matchup coming up this weekend.
I think he wanted to make a statement to the rest of the country, too, that, hey, we're still Alabama.
Yeah.
And we may have had one off night, but you know what? We're still Alabama. And reflected in the polls, up to number 4. And as we've talked about, guys, everything Alabama wants is still in front of them. They don't have the mulligan. They've already experienced that with the Texas A&M loss, so they're going to have to win out, including beating Georgia most likely in the SEC championship game. But if they take care of business, they'll be in the playoffs.
Hey, Fully Promoted, you heard me talk about getting fully promoted with these guys. They do a terrific job. Give them a call today at 205-406-6430. Mention you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for a special offer. That's 205-406-6430 with local experts that can really specialize in helping you put your logo on apparel, team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and printed materials. They can provide also access to samples. You can actually touch and feel a personalized service to assist you with product selection and decoration methods to take your brand to the next level. So call them today. That's Fully Promoted at 205-406-6430. That's 406-6430. And I guess the question is, are you fully promoted? Get fully promoted today with these guys at 205-406-6430. All right, coming up, guys, I want to ask you about Ed Orgeron.
Okay.
Man, I tell you, I couldn't believe, this had to be going on for weeks. Many articles that hit about 11 different articles hit very, very quickly. These things seem to have been already been told what was happening. We'll talk about that process. But after a big win, he now steps down. He'll finish out the year, but he won't be back for the 2022 season. So we'll talk about that, what it means for the LSU Tigers and Ed Orgeron as well. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaveraged custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
We all want to create a product or service that's going to change the marketplace. Jeremy and Gina Miller have done it with LocalRealty.com. LocalRealty.com, they've saved sellers over $600,000 in listing fees just in the last 2 years alone. How do they do it? A full-service flat listing fee of $2,900, saving you thousands. 5-star ratings on Zillow with over 400 testimonials. Sold over 1,000 plus homes in the Birmingham metro area since 2016. Go online at LocalRealty.com or give them a call at 205-564-3200. That's 564-3200 for local Realty.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
Hi, welcome back in. And again, on our Monday edition, a lot to get into today. My goodness, as far as the storyline surrounding all of college football and things that we're hopefully going to be able to touch on throughout the day. One of those, though, is Ed Orgeron. We just hit on it going into the break. And LSU, this is a team that was ranked 127th in the country in total rushing. Davis Price goes for 287 yards. LSU single game rushing record. Most rushing yards Florida has ever given up. LSU team actually went over 300 yards rushing, but Orgeron gets the win, big win over Florida, but then ends up getting fired after the game. We talked going into the break that I truly think this is something that's been going on, Matt, for a while now. I think something that's been told to media and people have been speculating about it for a long time.
Which, by the way, I need to apologize to the Gator fans. I call them funny-looking orange uniforms running in. I really thought that think they would own LSU, but I thought they would have won it.
Yeah, they
didn't. And it makes the firing or the agreement to part ways with Orgeron make you realize that this has been going on for many weeks, right, Lars? I mean, they already had the buyout and everything in place.
The optics aren't great because they beat number 20 Florida, improved to 4-3, and now LSU is going to pay Orgeron $16.95 million left on his contract. He was the second highest paid coach in college football behind Nick Saban. Look, this team hasn't obviously been the same since 2019. That's when Orgeron led LSU to 15-0 record, national championship, arguably one of the greatest teams in college football history. Matt, you and I were talking earlier that it's like Gene Chizik 2.0. And Chizik struck lightning in a bottle with Cam Newton. Orgeron did with Joe Burrow. But since the national championship, LSU's record is 9-8, and I can't believe that this is a mutual agreement. Okay, like this is Ed Orgeron's dream job. He's from the state of Louisiana, and Jay, I've always thought that the SEC is better with Ed Orgeron in it because he is such a colorful character.
Absolutely.
And I find him immensely likable, Jay.
He is. And if you've ever been around him, and I'll never forget one of the first interviews I did with him when he got to LSU, it actually may have been at USC still at this time, but the first thing, so we welcome him in, coach, welcome in. So glad. He's like, Jay, my wife is the biggest Sarah Evans fan. He went personal right away.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's one of those things where, it's like, okay, it's more than just football to him. It's about life. It's about people. How can I connect to them? That's why he's such a great recruiter. I mean, he knows how to connect to what his coaches, maybe not administrators right now that are making decisions, but Orgeron 49-17 at LSU, but is 9-8 since the championships since Joe Brady left. However, this goes beyond on-field results. This is a tweet put out by Ross Dellinger. That's the beginning of it. The last part says, a strained relationship between coach and administration rooted in team management and public and private behavior has warped into an untenable situation, distrust, and outburst. So that was put out by Ross Dellinger and a lot of LSU fans. And that went out immediately.
Hey, you know what? Ross works at Sports Illustrated, but he's based down in Louisiana.
Yep.
He has his finger on the pulse of that program better than anyone, Matt.
I just found it very interesting that it was reported after the fact, and maybe some knew, including Ross. He and his girlfriends come to practice, and he was divorced now.
Ross's?
You know?
No, yo,
Oh no,
I
don't know. Will you call Ross and ask him?
I'm kidding.
But I found that interesting. Objectionable, maybe, but it doesn't help your image.
All right, so
it doesn't help.
I got two questions for you guys, and number one, is this a good move for LSU or not, Jay?
Yeah, it is. I think off the field, things that we were hearing about, things that we thought was going to happen. We didn't know when it was going to happen, and I'm sure they probably felt like, hey, let's do it now because Florida's going to beat us this weekend. Didn't realize that Florida did not prepare for the run game at all. For them to have that type of day against them, I don't get how you go from 127th rushing in the nation to over 300 yards rushing against a Florida defense. I think now Mullen's got everybody's now talking about. Is he, someone that looked to the NFL or during the offseason, thought he was getting an NFL job and kind of overlooked the team, overlooked this season, as he somewhat did last season? And is that where his attention has been? And can he get it back and get his attention back to the Florida Gators? So we'll see how all that works out. But, I think it's the right move. I mean, this is a very good job. If you look at the pros and the cons, probably the cons are just, coming into the SEC, going up against Nick Saban in the West, dealing with just the SEC grind. But if you're a competitor, if you're a coach that loves to be in these type of games and is very successful already, then you're probably going to be a guy that's very interested. I don't know if it's going to stay at the college level. I think they'll look into the pros. I think there may be some guys that want to come back to college, Lars, and and have a chance to be a part of LSU program and things that they wanted to do. Were you doing air traffic control? What was that?
That was just a Ted thing. Whoa, Ted, wait up.
Hey, I gotta say, my dog Ted, I carved pumpkins with my kids on Sunday.
That's a pumpkin spice fart.
Yeah. Well, Ted ate the pumpkin guts, and I've been trying to clean his, clean him up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
And
I have
so I'm
left
sorry
from
about
last
that.
week. I gave him some Mulinex. But,
anyway,
okay.
So hey, second question.
Real quick, have you heard that there are a lot of people in Miami saying we want him? He's a D-line coach back there in there.
Yeah.
I'm rolling that out there. What's your second question?
Well, Orgeron has already said that he's going to take next year off and spend time with his family, whoever that is.
Well,
whoever's on the practice field.
Well, he did say that, Lars, but then he backed up. He said, I'm going to take time off next year, maybe 6 months. He goes, I'm just going to take some time off and let me see what comes at me. He kind of kept backtracking back on, okay, I shouldn't close the door because there may be somebody out there that wants me. And if that's the case, I need to at least listen to it. So don't totally just, knock that chance out. So I think he kind of backtracked a little bit on that. as a statement, or is he continuing with his comments about that particular question? But continue on.
So who should be the target of the coaching search now at LSU? Is it Joe Brady? Like, is he number one and 1A?
Jay, I'm on Brady. I'm on board with that. And by the way, if he's even remotely interested, Woodward will make it worth his while, and he'll be there. Would that be your Jay Barker's first choice?
Yeah, well, we saw that happen with Gus Malzahn and Gene Chizik, right? The offensive coordinator left, goes to Arkansas State, and then comes back to Auburn. This kind of could be that same situation. The only thing about Joe Brady, I don't know if he's got enough experience as a head coach. I mean, he's been a coordinator, but
never been a head coach.
Never been a head coach, right? I don't think. Yeah, I don't unless it's been at a lower division or even high school. I don't remember that. Still pretty relatively young. Do you take a chance on that, even though his offense? Can you figure out a way to get him still back to LSU as a coordinator, maybe like a coach in waiting type situation with a more experienced coach? I think LSU is going to have a lot of choices, a lot of people that want to get this job. You talk about not only do you have all the facilities, you have all the money, fundraising, you have an administration behind the program and all athletics. You've got the ability to go out and recruit just in that LSU, Texas area in lower Alabama as well, where they've been very good over the years, and that, in Mobile and other places where they've been able to snatch players out of Alabama, so and Mississippi as well. So they've got a recruiting base. They've got all the ingredients needed to be successful. They just got to get the right coach in there. And you saw it with what he did back in 2019. Hard to believe, though. I mean, so much like Gene Chizik. 2 years later, done.
Lars said, "What'd you say? It's a Chizik 2.0."
Exactly. Yeah.
You bring up a good point, because
would Dave Aranda come back?
He was there in 19, right?
He was.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the D coordinator.
That wouldn't be my first selection. Jay, you bring up a good point, though. Nobody knows what it's like to be a head coach at a major college football program until you get there. If you hadn't had any experience, now if you had experience at Boise State, in the case of Brian Harsin, that's going to help you. But having no experience, and then suddenly you're thrust into handling boosters, 15 speaking engagements a week. Yeah. Now, that's a little bit in the off season. That's probably not too far off, but you do have to make that effort, and that's a challenge when you're also trying to flip a program around.
Yeah. All right, more to come. We got a lot more to get into. I mean, we got so many topics from Caleb Williams. What a game he had! 4 touchdowns, Oklahoma, and we've talked about the emergence of this young quarterback, as well as I want to get you guys' thoughts on the hurry-up offense, the tempo, and the guys going down during the games. Is it fake injuries or not? How do you determine that? How do you deter it, and how do you make sure that this isn't happening? Because that's what the up-tempo kind of gets you, is where guys want to go down, or coaches want it for substitution, or guys are just tired. Can you penalize that? How do you do that? How do you know whether or not a player is actually hurt or not?
Testing.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough though to figure that out. But can they deter that at all? We'll talk a little bit about that too. Either on the other side, also coming up hour number 2. Small, medium-sized business owners though out there, you may not be aware of this. You may be. There is additional government stimulus dollars available to your business outside the PPP loan. If you had employees and retained them during the COVID-19 pandemic, there's up to $33,000 cash refund per employee. That's $33,000 cash refund per employee available to you, no matter if you get a financial loss or gain. And for over 23 years, the tax attorney CPAs, the e-tax breaks, have been identifying tax credits and tax cash refunds available to business through more than 3,000 federal and state programs. Now, these are not loans. You don't have to pay them back. Just check it out and let them know they've already got back around, I think it's $2 billion they've recovered for their clients to date, and can serve you as well nationwide. Best part, there's no fee for you to qualify. They work off success fees. If they find them, then you pay them off the success fees of the different, whether it's cash back or rebates for you as well for your business. You pay nothing unless they find them. So about 90% of small businesses are eligible. So take a few minutes to reach out to these guys, see if your business qualifies. Go to etaxbreaks.com, etaxbreaks.com, or simply call 855-659-1231. That's 855-659-1231 for etaxbreaks.com.
If Lars Anderson were a musician in Billboard's top 40, he would be number 1 with a bullet. I'll explain in a minute.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
the flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything it has at you, and to succeed, you need someone to guide you through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice to help you navigate whatever challenges you're up against and get you safely to where you want to be. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
But we have a truck leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on a silent retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
Who's gonna oversee production?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Football season's here. Time to cheer on the home team. Another team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa, your hometown BMW dealership. Our roster of players is here to ensure you draft the right car. Our starting lineup of new 2021 BMW vehicles is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to balance dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
Hello, this is Tamara Kroon, Deputy Director of the Tuscaloosa County Emergency Management Agency. If the pandemic has caused you to fall behind on your rent or utilities, the county's Emergency Rental Assistance Program is here to help. This program can assist qualified landlords and renters with delinquent payments. To apply, go to TUSCCO.com/ERAP or call 1-888-472-0027. Again, call 1-888-472-0027.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is.
Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
You're ready to get out and get moving. And whether it's surfing, playing tennis, or hiking every path you can find, you're going to need some essential new gear. Essentials that are even more rewarding with the Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card. You can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. The essentials have never felt more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Nothing but sunshine this afternoon. Tuscaloosa's high at 72. Very cool again tonight. Clear with the low at 45. And more great fall weather tomorrow and Wednesday. Mostly sunny both days. A bit warmer. Highs between 76 and 79. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 68 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, welcome back in as we continue here live from AVX Audio Video Excellence. Real quick, before we get to what you teased, to Ronnie out there, Brody as well. Brody says, love your show. My dad was Larry Pitts. Yeah, passed away 2 months ago. I'm sorry about that, my man. Yeah, he did a lot of Alabama football prints, no doubt about it. And thank you for listening, watching as well. Jackie as well, Roll Tide, she says, or he says, I shouldn't, I guess, say that. Got Metcraft, Brody again, Tim Bryce with a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel here on Bama Insider. And we got a ton of great programming, not just live here noon to 2 p.m. But throughout the week, tonight you get the Monday night quarterback, and the show they had last night was Sunday night, the call in. There'll be more shows being added throughout the week, the pregame show as well. So a lot of great things on BamaInsider.com. And so check them out for yourself. Like and subscribe. And again, we love your comments. Denny, so we got Denny as well chiming in there. And also John. So a lot of great things happening there. And also, I think our main man out of Mexico there also getting
Oscar.
Oscar. That's it. Yeah. Getting in on some of the comments as well. So Oscar, great to hear
Hola,
from you.
amigos. Have a nice week. That's just great.
Oscar's great.
All right, A Season in the Sun,
Yeah.
right?
Is
that the one that's at number one right now?
Jay, it is headed in that direction. Jay, we realize this, and I hope fans realize this that are watching the show. Lars Anderson wrote 2 full-length major books inside of 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
Just an incredible accomplishment. But they're also
suicide mission.
We had to walk with you along the ledge for a while.
Yep.
But A Season in the Sun comes out tomorrow, and here's the cool thing he told me right before we got on the air, Jay. It is going to be front and center in every airport bookstore in America.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's that's prime real estate that every author wants to be in, and HarperCollins is really supporting this. They like the final result. Normally takes me 18 months to write a book. Did this one in 12 weeks. Spent an immense amount of time with Bruce Arians, Jason Light, the GM for the Bucks, both former bartenders, and get into good bartending stories and fight stories and and why those two have bonded. And I've told Jay this. Jason is he's from Nebraska. And we actually have common friends, which just goes to show, like in Alabama, you guys know everybody, right? Just in Nebraska, we know everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like there
From
isn't
Alabama, I know him.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the book up there. You can look at it right now on the screen.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the release tomorrow. I actually got the hard copies delivered to my house on Saturday. And the most gratifying moment for me as an author, and this is book number 12, is when you feel the hard copy and you realize, wow, you were able to actually pull this off and do it, because there's just so much that goes into it, dealing with agents, dealing with publishers, doing all the reporting, and then laying the words down and the editing process. And I mean, Jay, you've done a book yourself, and it is a tall mountain to climb.
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like you've done. I mean, I did the scrapbook, like the vault book. That was the toughest. The other one, Wayne Ashton pretty much wrote with me, just talking to him about my life and stuff. That was early on. Hey, if you look, it's pretty amazing. Your 12th book has number 12 on the front of it.
That's right. Tom Brady's on the cover. Tom Brady and BA.
Ooh. That's great. All right, hour number 2 is coming up. Stay with us, BamaInsider.com, as well as throughout our radio network, J-Bark Radio Network. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurants. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and processes are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. And look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local. You can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. At Schaefer Plastic Surgery, not only they treat you like family, you get a free opening consultation. Not normally you get that for elective surgeries. You do with Dr. Schaefer. And he also combines experience gained from nearly 2 decades in practice, 8 years in advanced training to achieve beautiful, transformative results for his patients. As a board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Schaefer's goal is to exceed expectations while being dedicated to safety before, during, and after the procedure. Go online at SchaeferPlasticSurg.com. That's SchaeferPlastic, SURG.com, or 205-278-7969. For more information and located on Highway 280 across from Grandview Hospital. Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamers, a New Orleans-style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer. Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors, big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarding part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner. Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff. Its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown! That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Now 15 dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. Oh, love that. You saw Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. The roots are kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown straight. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with its 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
Here now, Bryce with pressure, throws across the middle. Mechie wide open, breaks a tackle. 30 down the near side with Bolden. Walking to the 10. He'll cut inside a tackler, and he's in for the touchdown. Here's the give. Robinson cuts left. He walks it in. Touchdown, Alabama. Play action fake. Bryce rolls right and throws. Complete Williams. Jamison midfield 50. Near sideline 40. Down the left sideline 30. Down the left sideline 20. And he's all the way in for a touchdown. Price claps his hands, gets the snap. Pressure off the edge. They throw. Robinson near side. Cuts to the middle of the field. See ya. Bye-bye. Brian Robinson. Touchdown, Alabama. 51 yards. What a beautiful play. Hands off Robinson. Carries it in for a touchdown. Throwing across the middle. Catch is made. Head of steam. Angling to the right side. Loose and in for a touchdown. Trayshawn Holden. Now the victory formation. This one's in the books. Alabama with a 49-9 win over Mike Leach and his Mississippi State Bulldogs.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 here on the Jay Barker Show. Lars Anderson, Matt Coulter, and I'm Jay Barker. We are presented by Top Golf for Birmingham. Got the Top Golf marker near all the great folks there. We call it the bowling of this generation, and you're going to love it. If you haven't experienced Top Golf, whether it's in Birmingham, pretty much all over the world now, you'll love the experience as far as being out there with friends, family, coworkers, playing golf and hitting shots, the competition, but you're going to love the food, the drinks, just the entire atmosphere. They do a lot of charitable events. They do parties. They have bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, anniversaries, birthdays, you name it. They can do it at Top Golf at Birmingham. Also driven by Sunny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Go see Tony Russell and all the great folks at Sunny King Ford. All right, Matt and Lars, we got a lot to dive into. I want to start here this hour. Back to Alabama and the game against Mississippi State this past weekend, and some of the not only numbers, but just some of the initial thoughts. And we talked about this an hour ago, but dominating performance by the defense, 3 interceptions, 4 sacks by Will Anderson. The first time that's happened since Derek Thomas did, I think, 1988, I think it was the date of the year.
Have 7 against Penn State or something? It was just
crazy.
Oh, it's like this guy's literally unstoppable.
And they lined him up everywhere. D-line, outside linebacker, inside linebacker.
Well, I wouldn't have liked to have been the guy lined up on. Oh, no.
Not lined up in the
Went to
quarterback.
the game room, the film, and all that.
Lars, kind of your initial thoughts about the win this past weekend and kind of what you heard from Coach Saban after the game as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a really nice bounce back performance by Alabama. I fully expected it. There's a long history in the Saban era of Alabama performing very, very well after a loss, and sort of a statement game that reminding the sort of national media and fans across the country that Alabama's not going anywhere. Yes, they had one bad game and committed every sort of mistake possible and still almost beat Texas A&M. But, you know, Jay, it seems like Alabama, except for last year, they have one of those games every single season under Saban. And it's not a criticism. I mean, it just happens. It's football. But it is how you respond to losses. And I tell this to my students all the time. You learn, and that's why I like writing about losing teams and people who suffer defeat more than the winning team, because there is so much more to glean and learn and process from a loss rather than a victory. And how you respond is really the defining. It sort of defines character. And so, Jay, I thought the team showed a lot of character on Saturday night in Starkville.
Yeah, next book, A Season in the Rain, will be Lars. He likes to write about the hardships.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm the tragedy guy.
You really are the tragedy guy.
Yeah,
but I like
you've read about Tampa Bay and Alabama.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of failures, particularly as of late, with either one of them.
Bryce Young, 20 of 28, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, a 12.4 average. Amazing that average, I think, is exactly what we talked about last week as Mac Jones average last year, the entire year, right? And that he was below that average. Could he get up to that? You know, it's pretty amazing. But 4 touchdowns and a 96.3 QBR. So really solid day for Bryce Young, Matt. Once again, this young man just continues to impress me with his poise, the ability after and before the games, how he handles himself with the media, how he handles himself with the team, just knowing personally from somebody that's in that locker room, how he won the team very quickly last year and definitely was the guy that everybody was looking to this year as well. And he's taken on that leadership role. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's just a guy that's very soft-spoken, but when he does things and his ability to make plays, his ability to get the ball two guys and moving around the pocket. Very, very good on his standpoint. Still a little bit worried about that right side of the offensive line. Still getting some issues there with some pass rush. Saw some pressures on Bryce this past weekend. He was able to step up into it or around it and continue to make plays.
He pulled it down a few times, and I thought he used excellent judgment on, okay, I'm going to do this, where I think he was very hesitant to do that earlier in the year. I think a lot of his maturity over the last couple of games has come from, maybe not necessarily the right side, but I think the left side of that line is formidable. And also B-Rob. And you know this. Having a guy that can carry it and get you positive yardage in just about any situation.
Man, he's a tough runner.
Roydell Williams
he runs. You want to talk about running behind your shoulder pads.
So Roydell, 11 carries, 78 yards, 7.1 average. And he was running through people. We saw him in high school, how good he was. We saw the spring game. He had a really great spring game. And another guy that had a great spring game, Ajayi Hall, after the game, tweeting out that he was, disappointed in playing time. I've got the tweet, but I don't have it up with me right this second. But for him, he was, I guess expressing himself kind of after the game. He said, calling it quits. Calling it quits. So that's his tweet after the game, and was taken down very quickly. And we heard Mechie after the game. I thought he made some good comments about that, and other guys saying, look, just trust the process. Your time will come. The problem is when you come out of high school is a top elite player, and you're the best, and you're the best not only on your team, the best in the county, the best in the city, the best in the state, and then all of a sudden you get to Alabama, and you can't find your way on the field. There's a lot of guys that have been in that situation, and I think for the player, you just got to buy in and understand that if you'll wait and be patient, your time will come. And when your time comes, you'll have the guys around you for you to be even better than you would be anywhere else in the country. Just look, if you're a receiver, at who's in the NFL right now. The first-round draft picks just over the last couple of years. Don't worry about the playing time right now. Prepare yourself for what's coming in the future, and do the things at practice, Lars, to where you're buying in and being a leader and trying to do the things. So I think for him, if everybody talked about, well, is he going to go to the transfer portal? And I hope not. If he's thinking about playing time, he's not thinking about what really the future could be under Alabama.
You got to think the long game here. Mac Jones, right? Worked out pretty well for him. Josh Jacobs worked out pretty well for him. But I want to ask you guys just a little shift in topic. I think the reason why Alabama's defense was able to get so much pressure on the quarterback and Will Anderson had those 4 sacks is because there's no threat of the run in the Mike Leach offense. Can Mike Leach succeed in the SEC if you can't run the ball?
I don't think so.
No, he can't. And the thing about it is, and I never played like Jay and certainly never coached, there were times, particularly in the first half, where he was getting 8 and 9 yards a pop running the football. Why did he get away from it? And no, you cannot win in the SEC consistently. You might go and upset LSU to begin your career. You might throw the upset at College Station. You're not going to win consistently.
Yeah, I thought you made a great point at the beginning. 3-man rush. That was pretty. We dropped 8, and he's been able to run the football. And I thought, okay, this is going to be the game plan. They're going to run and run until we can stop it. And then once we bring the guys, get 5, men rushing, or at least make those linebackers suck up a little bit. That's just going to give more room behind in the middle of the field in order for them to throw. Also, some of the deep balls and maybe shots you might take. But Lars, there's in my mind, you got to have balance to win championships at every level. Maybe a little bit different in high school, maybe a little bit different. But in the SEC, you're playing at the highest level. You're playing in, it's like the NFL, South or whatever. I don't know, Southeastern Conference, but it's a tough league to play in. And so if you're a quarterback to have success or your offense to have success, I think you have to have that balance. And we've seen that over the years and how that's led to not only winning championships in the SEC, but also national championships large.
Jay, again, could you just break down your analysis of Bryce Young's performance on Saturday night?
I thought I give him an A. I might even give him an A+. I think he played really well. 20 of 28. That number one, that's great. But also knowing that just watching him move around the pocket, the touch, the different speeds of the ball, the placement of the ball, and where he hits inside those windows that you got to be able to do as a quarterback at this level and at the next. And he's just been a pleasure to watch. He really has. And really to cover him and to see him be able to take on so much responsibility as a young sophomore, but yet has the poise of a seasoned veteran, of about a senior or junior at least, It has been great to see him do that, and he's definitely the leader of this offense. All right, we're going to come back and continue more, and I want to remind you, we got Mick Gillespie, BamaInsider. He joins us every Monday. He'll be coming up with us as well. Look forward to talking with Mick about this Alabama win, plus what he thinks about some of the other big, as far as games in the SEC this past weekend. Local Realty, you got to check them out. LocalRealtyFlatFee.com. That is the website. Jeremy and Gina Miller do a terrific job, 5-star on Zillow with all different comments and the things, the reviews they've gotten over the last few years. Now it's almost 1,000 of those. So they've sold thousands of homes in the Birmingham metro area. They're now expanded North Alabama, South Alabama. Their concept, what they want to do, number one, they've built a great team, great family, great team of people, is that it's a flat fee. So on the sell side of your house, when you're selling your home, they want to represent you on that sell side. So when somebody buys it, you're going to pay them a flat fee, $2,900 up to a $500,000 listing. Then it goes up, just incrementally as far as the price of the home. But it's going to save you thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars on your home when you sell it with Local Realty. And so go on and check them out, localrealtyflatfee.com, localrealtyflatfee.com for more information on Local Realty.
Did y'all see where Urban won a game?
Yeah, he looks surprised.
Has he lost the locker room? You're listening to the Jay Barker Show.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
In a collision, easy decision. One name, one firm, one call. Mesrano.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being hit by a 18-wheeler. He got me $875,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after being T-boned on McFarland. He got me $125,000.
I made that one call to Mesrano after my fender bender. He got me $50,000.
One name, one call, one firm. Mesrano.
No representations made that quality of legal services to be performed is greater than quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Ask big. Have you seen our artisan created diamonds? If you've been in a room with one, you can't miss it.
Tom Osmond from Fincher & Osmond.
It's a diamond like I've never seen.
And he's seen a lot of diamonds.
Ask big.
At Fincher & Osmond, you can put artisan created diamonds side by side with mined diamonds. When you see it.
More importantly, when she sees it.
FincherandOsmond.com.
McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
So, what are you sipping? Whether it's our freshly ground coffee to wake you up or an icy Polar Pop cup or Froster to keep you going, our new Sip and Save drink subscription at Circle K will keep you refreshed every day. Join Circle K's Sip and Save and grab any size drink every day for just $5.99 a month. Yeah, start sipping and saving today. Just sign up with your mobile number when you check out at Circle K. Limited time offer at participating locations.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray football forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley Floor and Tile.
Exam 4 needs to be sanitized. Mersana's MRI clinic isn't operating at max efficiency. She needs a new certified tech certifiably now.
Someone's waiting in room 2 for an ACL scan. Can you handle that?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a national healthcare alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pair of diabetic socks as our special gift to you. regardless of your age. If you suffer with diabetes and have insurance, you may qualify to get free delivery of your supplies.
800-441-0419. 800-441-0419. 800-441-0419. That's 800-441-0419.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Nothing but sunshine this afternoon. Tuscaloosa's high at 72. Very cool again tonight, clear with the low at 45. And more great fall weather tomorrow and Wednesday. Mostly sunny both days. A bit warmer, highs between 76 and 79. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 71 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we continue hour number 2, and a lot more to get into. You know, Alabama's big win over Mississippi State this past weekend, and also we've been talking about LSU at Orgeron out as the coach after the season will not return for 2022. Tennessee fans throwing objects onto the field. Who brings the golf ball to a football game? And French's Mustard, even though they said good on hot dogs, not on field. It's one of the tweets that went out from their PR department. Very smart on their part. Lane Kiffin handled it very well. I think we all talked about that after the game, and trying to make light of it, not trying to make it a big deal. And I don't think anybody should group any group of fans in one grouping when a few decide to toss things on the field, even though it looked like a lot were being tossed on the field. I've never seen so many water bottles on a field and different objects and stuff flying around. The golf ball, though, perfect precision. Who is this guy? We got to find him to be able to hit Lane Kiffin from that far away with a golf ball. Was it one of his players?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
This is years and years ago. Alabama lost Ole Miss in Tuscaloosa. Remember that, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
0 passing yards. After the game, somebody threw a brick up 2 stories and into Bill Curry's office. Ray Mellick wrote, "We should have had that guy at quarterback with that kind of accuracy."
Well, and I've shared the story many times because it was that really, I think, made Bill Curry go, "Do I want to be here? Is there too much pressure? These people take it too serious." So Bill Curry decides to go to Kentucky. That's what allowed Coach Stallings to come in. I was not being recruited by Bill Curry. I didn't throw the brick, number one. But Bill Curry left. And that, I was talking myself, Antonio Langham, Sam Shade, Chris Anderson. I mean, all these guys, none of us were being recruited by Curry. We're all in-state guys. And Coach Stallings came in and said, we got to build from within. And felt like it would be important to have guys that really grew up and knew what it was to put on that crimson jersey.
I kind of put us on a detour there. My bad.
No, I'm interested in this, exploring this topic of bad fan behavior. And what comes to mind, number one, Malice at the Palace. You guys remember that? That was Ron Artest going up into the stands and basically the most infamous fight in American sports history.
The melee.
It was very, very ugly. You remember the Philadelphia Eagles fans booing Santa Claus? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really, Steve Bartman incident. I mean, Steve Bartman was lucky to get out of that stadium alive.
His life is just, I don't want to say ruined, but he lives on a farm outside of Chicago and rarely goes anywhere.
I didn't even know that. I tried to do a story on Bartman, like many people, and I spent months trying to track him down and couldn't find him. But I've always wanted to write a big story on this, and that was in Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, June 4th, 1974, baseball game, 10-cent beer night.
Yeah, really good idea.
That's when just drunk fans lost control when the Indians held a promotion against the Rangers and sold beers for 10 cents each. and it was just it went really bad. And then, of course, probably the worst was when Monica Seles was stabbed, and that's no laughing matter whatsoever. But what if, if things could have gone horribly wrong on Saturday night? What if that golf ball hits Lane Kiffin in the head, and all of a sudden, Ole Miss players are like, "All right, I've had enough," and fully uniformed, they go into the stands and they try to find. I'm just saying, Jay, it could happen.
No, it could. I think that would be dumb on the part of the student athletes with 100,000 fans in the audience. If they are able to carry in golf balls, what else do they have on them as well? So that's
ketchup bottle.
Exactly. But back to Matt asked the question earlier. How do you remedy this? And you said $1 million fine maybe for the schools if this happens. I think the most logical thing to do would you're not going to serve alcohol for a while. We're going to take it out for the rest of the year. Prove yourself that we can have it back in next year.
Lars, that was all alcohol induced. Don't you
Of course,
think?
yeah. And also that takes the revenue away. I mean, that would be
that's
revenue
tough,
driver.
but I think you have to do something of that nature. If you're going to fine a university $250,000 for rushing the field, what do you do for this?
Is that the sports story of the weekend to you guys? What happened at
unfortunately,
yeah.
And
it was
really
a great game too.
Black eye, yeah. It took away from a great game. Black eye for Tennessee, certainly. Black eye for the conference.
And Jay, and Matt and I were talking about this earlier. I've always had great respect for Tennessee fans. Growing up in Nebraska, I always thought they were first class and covered many Tennessee games over the years. What's been your experience with Tennessee fans?
It's been different. I mean, look at that article. I mean, over there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, Barker Gimp was the name of the.
Oh yeah, they love Jay Barker.
That was the morning of the game after me coming off an injury my senior year, and it says Barker Gimp, and it was off of Forrest Gump, and I'm on the sideline with a crew cut, and my Barker on the back, and my arms in a sling, and which I was coming back from all that, but my dad, I mean, he loved it. He made sure he was waiting on me coming out of my hotel or coming down to the lobby. He's like, I got to show you something, and he showed it to him. We both laughed about it, and but Tennessee fans have always been, really good. I mean, I don't remember. The bus never got rocked by Tennessee fans. We had a 7-game winning streak going on. Alabama's got a 14-game winning streak going on now. I think we extended that to 9 after we tied that one game in 1993. But it's always been something that I think the fans, Philip Fulmer fanned a lot of that hatred towards Tennessee because of what happened off the field, not on it. More than it was even the players. But, once you get on the field, you just want to go play and you want to win the game. And the rivalry, what it means. And even though this rivalry now has a lot dealing with that, and I don't know if the younger generation sees this rivalry, Matt, like we did. They don't. LSU's the rival. Clemson's the rival. It's other teams, Ohio State now with the playoffs. This game with General Neyland and Coach Bryant used to be, these two teams built the SEC back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. All the way even through the 80s, and I hated when when everything for I think Tennessee to be good is good for the SEC.
Absolutely,
yeah, and they've struggled over the last decade and a half, I guess.
Among sort of SEC fans, what fan base do you think has the worst reputation?
I would say probably LSU, Florida, maybe.
I was about to say Florida and LSU.
Yeah. Florida and LSU would be there. Yeah, I'll go there. And when we started and you said, I'm surprised that Tennessee fans did this.
I am.
I was right in line, maybe not directly behind you, but with Jay. I was there many, many years ago, and they lost to Alabama, and I saw them turn a Volkswagen over just because it had an Alabama decal on it. Now, that's not a very cool thing. But I think it was a rarity. That's why so many getting involved and doing it for 20 minutes. Karen and I were just sitting there watching what is going on here because of what you said, and it just didn't seem like Tennessee.
It takes just one serious injury to really have to reevaluate a lot of things. And thankfully there wasn't.
And it happened at the Jacksonville game, didn't it? On Sunday, they started throwing stuff on the field. I think I saw a highlight of that, kind of the same type of deal. I was like, man,
Jacksonville beat Miami.
Yeah, I hope this is not going to become a trend for fans that throw things from the stands.
That was on the other side of the pond.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's
I
right.
forgot
Well,
about
no,
that, yeah.
and Jay,
Why they won?
what happened on Saturday night in Knoxville reminded me of sort of soccer matches.
Hooligans.
Hooligans, yes, and it can escalate so quickly.
Mob mentality, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly
Better
what
watch out. Fully promoted, one of our great sponsors. We've got Mick Gillespie coming up here in a second. Stay with us. Do you struggle with finding new ideas for branding and marketing your business? Is your organization maybe struggling to find those items or unique things that people like to get, and you want to figure out a way to really get fully promoted and offer extensive branding, marketing solutions for you to get your name in front of your potential customers? They've got local experts to help you with all the different things like putting logos on apparel, team gear, caps, even printed materials, promotional products, and trade show items as well. They provide access to samples that you can actually touch and feel, and decoration methods, and also the selection of the products you want to take your brand to the next level. So give Fully Promoted a call today at 205-406-6430 and mention that you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for a special offer. That's 205-406-6430. Are you fully promoted?
Special guest coming up next right here at AVX in the Jay Barker Show.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on the Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.O.
Here's the snap, waist high, looking right, throwing. It is intercepted by Alabama on the far sideline and brought back to the 35-yard line. Rodgers throws, looks near side, hold up, intercepted Alabama. Hold down by Jordan Battle down the right sideline. He's going to go to the goal line. Does he step out of bounds? No, he's in for a touchdown. Jordan Battle, the second interception of the day for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Play action fake to Jaquavius Marks, and there's sack number 1 of the ball game. Byron Young, come on down. His second sack of the season. Everybody comes up to the line of scrimmage, and here comes the pressure, and down goes Rodgers. Single running back, he deploys. Pressure up the middle, down he goes. Will Anderson, sack number 3. Quarterback looks right, and looks down. Henry To'o sacks him. They clap the hands. Standing in is Rodgers. Going down is Rodgers. Will Anderson on the low side, and many a teammate on the high side. He looks to the near side, throwing it up for grabs, intercepted by Alabama in the end zone. It's coming out, Jordan Battle. Battle up the near side, 25-30, and he's taken down yet another Alabama interception.
As we continue here live from AVX.
I've been doing this 45 years.
Yeah, talking about Ted, you came in too hot there, man.
I did.
That's what it is. All right, Mick Gillespie, let's get right to him. Joining us, BamaInsider.com and YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But we watched him last night, the Sunday night show. You got the Monday night show coming up tonight, many more shows throughout the week. But let's welcome in Mick Gillespie. Man, you got the Fu Manchu going now.
Yeah, look, man, I'm going to Red Rock.
Or is that a full beard?
Dead and Company. No, it's just I haven't shaved, but I'm going to Red Rocks for Dead and Company tomorrow, so I have to fit in while I'm there. I'll be shaved by Friday, but I've got my golf ball. This is the one I've got left from
there you go.
From Saturday's game.
Man, did Lane ship that to you overnight?
Yeah, he gave this to me, and I'll tell you what, the accuracy that the guy had throwing that to hit him in the hip pocket with it was amazing.
Unbelievable. All right, let's talk about Alabama, Mississippi State, and again, Mick does a show every Sunday night, and Kyle Henderson also joins from BamaInsider.com, and great show, a chance for not only they break it down for about 30 minutes, kind of what they saw, and then they open it up for the phone lines, and a lot of great questions, a lot of great as far as back and forth between the callers. All right, Mick, Alabama, Mississippi State, your first impressions.
I thought it was a great win for Alabama and one that they needed. The next road game's at Auburn. It's the Iron Bowl, and you want to have some momentum and some confidence after 2 really poor road performances. So I thought it was great. And then William Anderson, I mean, he's a monster. I mean, Derek Thomas type stuff with the pass rush, the 4 sacks, his best game, one of the best defensive games I can remember. I was surprised that Mississippi State didn't put more attention on him. He was single blocked a lot, and he just blew that up. And then Bryce Young, I mean, the guy, another great performance, and he's a Heisman candidate, I mean, legitimately. So a great win for Alabama against a team that beat Texas A&M, and I thought it was exactly what the team needed.
Just going away from the Alabama game real quick, your thoughts on what transpired in Knoxville on Saturday night with the fans, and as you so appropriately have the golf ball.
Yeah, and I'm joking about the golf ball. But look, I've been in Knoxville. I spent a lot of time there. I know the situation. I mean, there's a couple things working. Lane Kiffin takes the job in 2009. They get rid of Philip Homer. They're a really good program. Had a bad year. Okay, they bring this guy in. And honestly, there was a lot of momentum there. with Lane Kiffin. And then out of nowhere, he takes the USC job. He has finished one of a 6-year contract. And Tennessee's program's been in the dumps ever since. I mean, they bring in Derek Dooley, terrible. Butch Jones, not that good. You know, and you turn around and it's like, you know, Jeremy Pruitt, overmatched. They've gone through, and it's amazing, all of these years, they've been so bad. I mean, even looking at the Alabama-Tennessee game, 2009 with Lane Kiffin, you know, they're a kick away. I think they should have been a little more aggressive. And had they, after they got the ball back and only needed a field goal to win, you know, if they would have got Daniel Lincoln closer, maybe they go for the touchdown, they win the football game, and they didn't, obviously, and then he leaves. So Tennessee fans are frustrated. This game, it was the first time Lane Kiffin had been back in town. I remember when he came back as an offensive coordinator at Alabama, we thought, you know, hey, does this guy need to wear a flak jacket? I mean, how's the response going to be? And it was pretty tame. But this time, you know, it felt like wrestling, you know, like back in the day, you know, like WCW style. You know, here comes Lane Kiffin. You know, he's kind of this Jimmy Hart, mouth of the South type guy. He's always in the news, controversial, you know, and he stokes the crowd, and they get back at him, and it was really fun. And then the fans were upset about that 4th down call by the officials, and that set them off. It was disappointing because Tennessee has some really great fans, and you know they've been so loyal to this program, and it's been frustrating. And what people don't remember is when I was at Alabama, our program was exactly the same. We stunk. You know, we had all of these years of losing to our rivals, and it's been Nick Saban. I've been covering and went to school at Alabama when they lost to Tennessee every year, and they lost to Auburn every year, and they lost to LSU every year, and people get frustrated. I'm just thankful that Alabama fans, you know, never took to throwing things on the field, and we got to thank, you know, Mal Moore for going out and getting Nick Saban, because had that not happened, you know, who knows what Alabama would look like. But I just think it was just the frustration boiling. I think it's part of, you know, partly Lane Kiffin's personality. I thought Lane Kiffin did a really good job of talking to the media afterwards. His explanation showed a lot of maturity, and I was surprised because Lane Kiffin hardly ever shows maturity, but I really thought that he did a nice job of kind of calming things down afterwards. You know, so I'm going to give the guy some credit, and I've said it many times and probably on here. You know, Michael Wilbon called him a clown. I don't think that's far off, you know, because every time we turn around, it's some kind of clownish behavior that this guy's involved in, although this time it really wasn't his fault, and I thought he did a good job of kind of calming things down. You know, as far as the punishment goes, and I was listening to you guys, I don't know that, like, I saw one column that said that Georgia ought to petition not to have fans at the game. We found out last year that's not a good idea. You know, we got to have fans there. You know, maybe the fans that threw stuff, the ones that are getting caught are never allowed back in. You know, Randy Boyd, the school president, is a guy with a lot of integrity. I know him well. And I got a feeling that this will be handled in a way that you would want to be handled, because it was kind of a scary situation. Look, there's my mustard bottle. You got water bottles. I thought that it was a great idea. Maybe you're not allowed to sell beer for the rest of the season. You know, that seems fair to me. You know, that'd be a bigger punishment probably than just going and fining them, because you're making a lot of money on that too. So I don't know what the solution's going to be, but it is unacceptable. Even in WCW wrestling with the NWO, Hulk Hogan, and those guys back in the 90s. Not acceptable to throw stuff.
Mick Gillespie at Broadcaster Mick is our guest here on the Jay Barker Show. Quick question. Was it a bad spot at the end of the game? And what's going to happen now? Who's going to replace Coach O in Mick's vision?
Yeah. Look, I kept looking at it. Honestly, my eye, I thought it was giving them a first down on that. But you know what? It didn't matter. Tennessee still had a chance to win. And Joe Milton III, absolutely clueless at the end of the game after Hendon Hooker took them downfield. Embarrassing watching him run out of bounds. It's the last play of the game. Have some awareness. You know, just because you're not in the game, you got to stay mentally in the game. And he didn't. And he wasn't ready. it's a shame because think about the world right now had Tennessee won that game. They probably would have rushed the field, and we'd be talking about that too. So, but as far as LSU,
and he made a great throw, Mick, on that first play. A great throw, and
it was
like a 4-inch vertical.
Yeah,
I mean, he barely got off the ground.
No, I know. I mean, I think he should have thrown. You got to throw that in the end zone. You got to give your guy a chance, or pitch it. But if you're going to run the ball, pitch it. You can't just run out of bounds. I mean, how anticlimactic. But looking at Ed Orgeron, I'm not surprised that this is made. Other than, I think it's a terrible idea to tell someone they're fired and then they keep their job towards the end of the year. And LSU just never seems to learn from their mistakes. Like they did the same thing with Les Miles, kinda. Like he was going to be fired and then he wasn't, and he was, and then all of a sudden he wins some games, and they keep him around, and then they prolong the inevitable, right? Ed Orgeron's out. Classy guy. Heard his press conference today. Thought he handled everything well. And he loves the Tigers. This is something that normally you do at the end of the season, even if you make the decision now. But who knows? But what I think LSU has the money to go out and get a good coach. I mean, they're going to be competing with other programs like USC to figure out who the next guy is there. My personal bet would be Joe Brady. I know he's a young guy, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Sometimes you run into young people in life that are advanced and that are special. And in this day and age, watching what he was able to do, all the RPO stuff that he brought to LSU, and the season that they had, I don't think it's a fluke that they went up when he was there and then went down when he left. The NFL is a different animal. Who knows how he would be as a head coach? But the guy's got some charisma and he's really smart. I think he's got to be a guy on the list. And then after that, who knows? But maybe Mel Tucker at Michigan State, former Alabama guy. I like Mel Tucker. I mean, he's gone out there and won games with less at Michigan State. Maybe not as good of competition, but he'd be a guy as well. They got to get someone that's able to recruit, and it's just going to be a challenge because I was never sold on Ed Orgeron. One of the biggest upsets in my lifetime. And I guess if you were making Mount Rushmore of upset champions, you could put him right next to Gene Chizik, right? It's like these coaches, you're going, this guy won one? Amazing, right? But you know what? He won one. And you can't take that away from him. He did that. And the people that know him, and never met the guy in my life, but the people that do know him tell me he's a good guy, and they like being around him. I just don't think he's head coach material, neither does LSU. But I think that it's going to hurt. It's going to be a challenge for Alabama and Auburn figuring out who they end up getting, because I don't think they'll miss on this one. I think they'll go out and spend the money and get the best available.
Mick, Alabama's got a 14-game win streak now against Tennessee, and unbelievable. That would just baffle my mind years ago to think that it could go that long. We had it like 7 or 8 or 9 years when I was there. I thought that was a long time. That's double that number. But give us your thoughts on that game, a prediction. We got about a minute and a half. And also tell everybody about tonight's show coming up on Monday nights, each Monday night on BamaInsider.com.
Yeah, it's my favorite Alabama rivalry game, Jay. I mean, it is, and I love the game, and I love the tradition. I got fired up last night talking about it, and I've been to every one of them. Even before that, I was at the game that Alabama lost to, before the streak started. So I think this is an important game. Alabama coming off of that loss, so they got to win. I think they'll be focused, and with Tennessee probably not going to have Hendon Hooker, from what I understand. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for Tennessee. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking I'll probably go in the stadium and watch it. I normally watch on TV from somewhere in Tuscaloosa. I think I want to go to this one and watch it just like I did the last, 20 years every time. So I love this rivalry. And tonight, look, be on Tony Tsoukalis, the beat writer for Bama Insider, and myself, 6 o'clock right here on Bama Insider YouTube channel. We'll talk about some things like who's going to be the Heisman. Maybe Bryce Young, maybe Will Anderson. We'll get into that. Obviously, the tweet from Ajay Hall and Baker not traveling. What's going on there with these receivers at Alabama. We'll talk about the Tennessee game. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So that's 6 o'clock tonight. And I'm seeing everyone in the comment section. Jay, we've got to get you on these shows sometime.
Yeah, man, I love it. You guys do a terrific job, and we appreciate the relationship. The partnership with BamaInsider.com, and also the YouTube channel, as a lot of you are watching us on right now. If you're listening to us across the Jay Barker Radio Network, across the state, down the Gulf Coast. You can actually go back and watch the entire show on YouTube. I mean, it's there for eternity on the servers, and they also put together some kind of best of clips, and they do the same with Mick as well. You can go back and archive all those shows. So really, really great thing, great partnership with those guys. Again, that's our YouTube channel. Just put in BamaInsider or Alabama football in the search. You'll find us probably immediately. We usually come up right up there at the beginning with BamaInsider.com, and again, also throughout our network, our flagship station, Tide 100.9 FM out of Tuscaloosa. And actually, Lars will be there tomorrow doing the show live from there. We'll have him on video as well with our YouTube channel, and we'll be out at a golf tournament tomorrow at Greystone. We'll be there 2 days in a row. One day,
cool.
One day we're playing Founders. Next day we're playing Legacy for Gary Burley's foundation, and then also for Patty Brombert's foundation and all that they do. So it'll be a lot of fun over the next couple of days. But tune in tonight, Mick Gillespie on BamaInsider.com, and always does a terrific job, and always great to have him on. Mick, thank you, my man.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, guys.
All right, etaxbreaks.com, $33,000 cash refund per employee is what's out there for you. You may not realize that, and many are not aware that additional government stimulus dollars are available to your business outside the PPP loan. Check it out at etaxbreaks.com or give them a call at 855-659-1231. That's 855-659-1231. They work off success fees, so there's no financial risk for you. You pay nothing unless they find the credits or refunds for your business, and about 90% of small businesses are eligible. So take a few moments and reach out to these guys. See if your business qualifies. Again, go to etaxbreaks.com or call them at 855-659-1231 for etaxbreaks.com.
Bama gets a big commitment from right here in Birmingham. We'll tell you who after the break.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Tuscaloosa Tire and Service, they've got the big brands you know and trust. Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Cooper, and they can finance for you as well. When you need routine maintenance and alignment, a tune-up, whatever it is, belts, hoses, just basic stuff, or when you don't know what's wrong with your car, truck, or SUV, make it Tuscaloosa Tire and Service. They're dependable, they're trustworthy. That's why they've lasted for over 36 years. Skyland Boulevard, McFarland Boulevard East in Northport on Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. Check out the website, TuscaloosaTireandService.com.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Don't miss a play at the Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Your front row seat to all the action. Place bets on all professional and most college sports at the counter, kiosk, or on your phone. Then catch the game on one of our 20 big screens from the comfort of the newly remodeled Timeout Lounge. Plus, the PRR Sports app gives you access to live, in-play sports betting. Sportsbook at Pearl River Resort. Be more than a fan. Be a player. Must be 21.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
Football season's here. Time to cheer on the home team. Another team you can get behind is BMW of Tuscaloosa, your hometown BMW dealership. Our roster of players is here to ensure you draft the right car. Our starting lineup of new 2021 BMW vehicles is stacked with all-stars, including 7 sports activity vehicles, each crafted to balance dynamic power, spacious interior, and impeccable design in ways only BMW can. Visit BMWofTuscaloosa.com or stop by to get to know your hometown BMW team.
But we have a truck leaving with a big order on Tuesday.
Tina's floor manager retired, leaving her tortilla factory flat out.
What do you mean she's on a silent retreat?
She must fill the role and all those orders.
I'm gonna oversee production.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray Football Forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley, Floor and Tide.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Nothing but sunshine this afternoon. Tuscaloosa's high at 72. Very cool again tonight. Clear with a low at 45. And more great fall weather tomorrow and Wednesday. Mostly sunny both days. A bit warmer. Highs between 76 and 79. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 71 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we continue here, hour number 2. And again, thanks to Mick Gillespie joining us from BamaInsider.com as he does each and every Monday to give us a breakdown. Hey, I want to mention this to UAB. Big win for them over Southern Miss this past weekend, 34-0. And a lot of you saying, why are you bringing up UAB? My son plays there, Harrison, quarterback for the UAB Blazers, my youngest son. So excited for them and what they've done so far this year. And also they got Rice coming up. So third game in Protective Stadium. If you haven't been out to see it, it is unbelievable. I'm going to be there at 2:30 till halftime, leave there, go to Alabama game against Tennessee coming up this weekend. So look forward to a big weekend, busy weekend as usual.
Did you ever think when you were running through 35 wins at Alabama that you would one day be bouncing all over the state to watch your two sons play? It's got to be really cool, actually.
It is. And then when the next few weeks, when basketball season hits.
Oh, yeah. You got
travel,
Ashley.
Go to Athens. So Athens, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Nashville. Athens, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Nashville. I mean, it's like the backwards 4. I guess it's a 4 for me if you're looking down. But crazy.
You need to get you some frequent driver miles.
Yes.
Alabama got a commitment from a top 100 defensive back, and many here have heard of him, is Traquan Fagans from Thompson High School.
Great player.
Defensive back, number 64 prospect overall. Originally committed to Miami, changed his mind. Now he's going to the University of Alabama. Well, that not that I would ever have this possibility. If I were a DB, I wouldn't even take trips. Well, I might take a trip, but I mean,
you got to take the trips. Trips are fun. But you're right.
What was your best one?
God, they were all so good. I mean, Alabama was great. Auburn was great. Stan hosted me on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I won't share all the information. But
cool.
No, it's really great. And Stan's a great guy. So, the Florida State was fun. I went down for a game there. They'd offered me, but I just, my dream was play at Alabama and just kept waiting and waiting. And finally, again, I didn't throw the brick, but it went through the window. Yeah. Bill Curry left, opened up a door. Hey, thanks to Josh Smith, our producer. Thanks to Bama Insider and all the folks that make this happen each and every day. Subscribe, like there on the YouTube channel as well. And be back with us tomorrow on the Tuesday edition. With Matt Coulter, Lars Anderson, I'm Jay Barker. You've been listening to The Jay Barker Show live from AVX. Have a great day.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes, extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So, we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurants. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and processes are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today. I want to tell you about my good friends at Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker, and look, Ken Needham has done a terrific job. Local company, 205-980-1505 is their number. That's 980-1505. Again, local, you can speak with the same team every time you give them a call. Full line of products from auto, home, boat, life. You'll trust them. They have a great deal as far as the relationships they build with their customers, and 20 years with the same company and industry. Custom approach for your insurance needs. Give them a call, 980-1505. That is Southern Assurance Group. Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com, or 205-716-1269. Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV, and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for your high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.co. Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years.